I want you to imagine that you are walking on a sidewalk and you see a very pretty girl walk by, 10 out of 10. How would you look at her as she walks past you? Be brutally honest with yourself. How did you look at her? Did you check out her butt at all? Did you glance at her chest? Did you even look at her with the emotion of lust? This is the reality we face. Years and years and decades of continual sexual sin has compounded to give you this dirty, low life view of women. It's ruining your mental health. It's ruining your soul. And the demon that was behind it this entire time doesn't even have to work towards it anymore. He doesn't even have to work towards attacking you, because this stronghold is so strong in your life that it's doing its damage by itself. The demon doesn't have to work. Now he gets to sit back and watch as you fucking destroy your life with sexual sin, porn, lust. And I don't blame you for it. I don't blame you for watching porn. I don't blame you for looking at women that way. I don't blame you for getting those dirty thoughts in your head. I don't blame you if you're gay or if you're lesbian or if you have those attractions. I don't blame you for it. But we have to not take pride in it. We have to recognize that it's wrong. And when we realize that, that's when we start taking a turn for the better, and the results are amazing. You already know I say this every video: peace, love, joy, purity, innocence, and a very big emphasis on purity and innocence. But the peace that comes with that, and the it makes me kind of laugh to think about, because my life now is 100 times better, 1,000 times better, 1,000,000 times better than what it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. 15, 16-year-old me, I wish that 15, 16-year-old version of me had a mentor, had someone to tell them that this is not okay, and you can do better, you can change, you can purify your soul. Because at the end of the day, we all want the same things. We all want this spiritual growth, this fulfillment in life. And that only comes when we actually take action and get on self-improvement and do the right things and avoid sin and actually improve our life and change our mindset. That is the only way. And again, I don't blame you for it. This world has been very meticulously designed to be this way, to weaken and emasculate men, to make them more lustful, to essentially make us more complacent. Because if you're watching porn, you're gonna get complacent, bro. You're not gonna achieve your goals. You're not gonna care about overthrowing this tyrannical government that, takes over in the near future. You're not gonna worry about that because you just watch porn. You've achieved the highest achievement. Your body thinks that you've achieved the highest level of achievement, which is procreation. You're tricking your brain into thinking that you just procreated. So now you are lazy, you're lethargic, you're tired. You're not achieving your goals. You're not getting anywhere in life. You're not working diligently. You're not even present in your mind. And that destroys your relationship with your family, with your future wife. It destroys your work because you're not focused on your work. It destroys really your quality of life and causes depression, because mind wandering and distraction is what really a wandering mind is an unhappy mind, and porn will cause an unhappy mind through mind wandering and distraction and brain fog. And you've experienced it before, man. I know you have. There's a very dark agenda right now. And this same agenda is being perpetuated by the same people who are going to Epstein's Island. The same people who are getting involved in child trafficking rings. These are the same people who are going to Bohemian Grove and all these secret societal rituals. And I know if you don't know about this is probably just overwhelming you right now. These are the same people who go to these secret societal rituals and start sacrificing children, like little models, mannequins of children, and they probably do the real deal too. They probably sacrifice real children. These are quite literally, these people who run our world are the same wicked people that you find in the Old Testament. The same people in the Old Testament who God strikes down. Every time it says wicked people, wicked person, these are what they're talking about. These people who have had their heart so hardened to a point where they enjoy the sin. We're to the point where they enjoy doing these things. Where lying, instead of feeling bad about lying, they start feeling good about lying. And they've watched porn. They've had a sexual mind for so many years that it warps their mind into a way where they think this is okay, and they actually start enjoying it and they take pleasure in it. So it's not just sex, but also the corruptions of sex, homosexuality. They get really deep into that. And a lot of these people, look at the Congress meeting. Look at the Congress person a few weeks ago who did stuff and filmed stuff in the Congress room. That is what it means to be wicked. Indulging in this corruption of God's creation and starting to enjoy it and not feel bad about it, to the point where it gets so deep that these people are engaging in child trafficking and having sex with kids. You know how fucking disgusting that is? And yet the people who run our government, the people who run our world are doing that. So why wouldn't they want to distract you? Why wouldn't they want to get you into this porn mindset, to this lustful mindset? There's a reason why porn is free, bro. There's a reason why it's free. And like, again, like cussing, a lot of people will invalidate like my relationship with God because I cuss. I definitely don't think God advocates for cussing, by the way. A little side tangent. I don't think he advocates for cussing, but at the same time, I'm doing it to emphasize my words more, to emphasize what I'm trying to say, to emphasize my message more. So I don't have a habit of cussing. If you talk to me in public, you'll probably never ever see me cuss. I'm using this on purpose to really get you invested in this, because this is a real deal. This is something very important that we have to talk about. It's destroying our society. It's destroying men. And as a result of destroying men, it's destroying women and empowering women. And I'm not talking about empowering in a good way. I'm talking about, oh, you go, girl. Go get a job. Go work a career that you hate. You go, girl. You don't need a man. You don't need kids. That's the old way of doing things. We don't need that anymore. In fact, you know what? Let's be lesbian. Let's all play. This is what they want. This is what they want for us. I've had several friends share with me their experience with being addicted to porn and lust. Genuinely good guys, too. Genuinely good guys. The people in life that you would never think would ever engage in that kind of behavior because they're just so kind of not into that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and one close friend in particular who got addicted to porn for a while. This close friend, I'm telling you, I would have never thought that he would ever watch anything like that. And I'm just thinking, how could this guy, if this guy can get addicted to porn, we all can. If this guy can get addicted, we all gonna get addicted, man. It's just crazy. This guy, he grew up Christian. I'm not saying growing up Christian means you're gonna be pure, but this guy, I've never heard him tell a lie. Just kind of a pure guy, a genuine guy, tells you the truth. To know that he got addicted to that, and I'm not putting him down at all. I've been there, bro. I've been there. More than you have. More than any of you have, probably. You have to actively work towards avoiding it in today's day. There's kids who are watching porn who are 7 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old. I hope it's not younger than that. I don't even know what to think anymore. This is getting ridiculous. And yet it's never going to stop unless we have a society of people, a full entire society of people who agrees that they want to take on self-improvement. They want to take on spirituality, a relationship with God. They want to improve and they want to avoid this, and they want to start thinking less from a lustful perspective and more from a godly perspective, a more pure perspective, a more marriage perspective. That's how it was 50 years ago. I mean, trust me, there was a lot of degeneracy back then too. Don't get me wrong. Those grandmas were wildin'. But still, it was way more how it was supposed to be 50 years ago, 60 years ago. When Rome fell, the same things were happening in America the same thing was happening then that is happening in America now. The amount of degeneracy and pride and sin and display of sin, even in the government and the world leaders, and it's outwardly displayed now, celebrities, Hollywood. But to such the scale it is now is how we know we're in the end times. Like Hollywood, for example, that's never been a thing before. Hollywood, for Hollywood to exist, perpetuating these demonic agendas, whether very clearly or very subconsciously, subliminally, it goes both ways. Disney movies have a lot of subliminal demonic messaging in them. And I used to love Disney. I still love Disney, but they're woke. They've always been woke. Walt Disney was a Freemason. He was probably doing stuff with kids too. He was not a good guy. And yet he created all these movies. It's so sick to me that this is even legal, that it's okay for porn to be 2 clicks away, for this to captivate and destroy the lives and souls of so many men out there. And nowadays it's women too. It's a lot of women. I don't think you even realize how many women are watching porn. Nowadays, if you haven't watched porn ever, you're a pureblood. Because this is something that you have to ingrain in you, that the longer you go without thinking lustfully or having this porn or these very sexual addictions and these habits, the longer you go without doing that, the more pure your mind gets, and the more you start not just thinking of others better and thinking less sexually, but also how much more just vibrant and peaceful your life gets, because sexual sin is a very big sin. So when you overcome that, even without a relationship with God, you are living such a more vibrant life in of itself. Couple that with a relationship with God, and dude, you're practically superhuman in today's day. Porn is ruining your relationship with God. It's ruining your mental health. It's ruining your drive to succeed, your focus, your attention span. Indirectly, it affects the way you breathe, causing you to be more of a mouth breather and a shallow breather, which affects your physical health and your health in general, your mental health. Causes more anxiety and this. I don't know what the word I'm trying to. Mind wandering is the word I'm trying to say. So let me actually explain more in depth how sexual perversion actually works. Every time you lust, so every time you entertain or take action, it's like adding 1 XP point towards a sexualized mind. And every time you add that 1 experience point, whether it be porn, masturbating, whether it be, it's all compounded from there. There's other ways. The more experience points you get, the darker your world just becomes. And being deep into porn is a dark place to be. It's a very dark place. And the secret alone of the fact that you watch porn, the fact that you're doing things while you're watching porn, is enough to cause weight, fatigue. Secrets have weight to them. So when you wake up the next morning and you're trying to hide your tissues and you're trying to make sure nobody knows what you're doing, that has weight to it, and it's causing you to be fatigued and tired more than you would normally be. Dude, I'm full of energy. I woke up 5:30 this morning. I meditated. I read some scripture, took a cold shower, and now I'm recording videos. It's 7 a.m. Well, now it's 8 a.m. actually. I've been recording videos and waking up. It's freezing cold out here. I don't even have my car on. It's freezing cold. I do it for discipline. And I enjoy it. I get fulfillment out of this. What happens when I wake up and I watch porn and I distract myself the rest of the day? Then it comes evening time and I realize I've wasted my life. I've done nothing for myself. I haven't improved my life. I haven't done any good habits. I haven't gone to the gym. I haven't followed my purpose. I haven't worked on my business. I haven't gone to my day job. It's such a dark life to live when you're in that continual porn. This is my 4th point that I was going to talk about. I want to actually wrap it around and talk about it now. The presence of God will deter you from committing sexual sin. And this is the power of this. Can you masturbate and can you watch porn in the same room that you pray to God in? Think about that for a moment. Can you masturbate in the same room that you pray to God in? Because I can't. I'm replacing that bad habit with that. How am I going to go back to that other habit? And so that principle is very important. But there's also the spiritual factor of the more good you do, the less you're just going to want to commit sin in general. The more godly things you attribute yourself with, habitualize in, the less you're gonna want to go and do those devilish habits and those corruption habits. And even when you do it, you will feel conviction. You will feel terrible about doing them. You won't feel like it's the right thing to do. So at the very least, you'll feel bad about doing them, which is a very good step in the right direction. Because many people get in such a cycle of porn, such an addiction, that they don't feel bad about watching it anymore. It's like clockwork, and they're just on here like, shallow breathing, not thinking anything of what you're actually doing. You get it done, you relieve yourself, and then you quit watching and you're done, and you don't even think about it. Maybe you feel a little bad afterwards, post-nut clarity, whatever they call it. But it doesn't cross your mind while you're doing it that this is wrong and that God is watching. And I can't really say that I've had that experience, because when I really gave my life to God, like truly, I was already off porn for almost a year. So I mean, it's hard to say, but I genuinely do think if I were to watch porn right now, I would feel terrible about it. And it would actually be harder for me to watch it because I just won't find it interesting. Because my mind is so much more pure now, to where I don't even think I would find it interesting to watch. I think it's weird. What are these people doing? I'd find it very weird and disgusting, and like, 'cause your mind gets hardwired just completely different when you give it up. When you're in, you're already thinking better thoughts, your mental health is improving. All of a sudden, you are pretty much over sexual sin as a habit. Maybe you still masturbate, maybe you still do this or that, but genuinely, you are pretty much done. 2 years in, 3 years in, it gets better. Your mind is more pure. You got more peace. Your mental health is even better. You talk to women and you don't even feel this stigma, this societal expectation. Who can be the least emotionally invested invested in the conversation. It doesn't affect me if they think I'm unattractive, if they don't want to talk to me, if they think I'm weird, if they think, oh, why did he I don't think of these things because I respect myself now. I don't watch porn, so I'm not like watching women the same gender go, and you know what I'm trying to talk about. I'm not corrupted in the head. You've come from a perspective, and the third thing is you come from a perspective of leadership in a way, because you remember how dark your life was when you were watching porn. You remember how bad it was back then, how gloomy and dark, how spiritually dead you were, how mentally unhealthy you were. And you look back and you see most people are living that way, and they need help. But now that you're overcome this, you can become a leader in this yourself. You can help other men. And now that you have this kind of leadership position, you kind of feel more purposeful in a way. You feel like you can talk to women because you are not watching them get railed by some dude. You don't have this weird mindset, but also manly, masculine presence to you, which is very lost these days, because if you're watching porn, you're relieving yourself all the time. How are you going to be masculine? You've already achieved procreation. Your body thinks so. So how are you going to achieve anything? How are you going to be strong? How are you going to be spiritually masculine? Because there's a spiritual sense to masculinity too. And avoiding sexual sin is a big part of that. We need to hold ourselves accountable as brotherhood, as brothers, as friends. We need to hold ourselves accountable. We need to hold each other accountable. We need to be there for each other. Admit our wrongdoings to God, and optionally to our brothers as well. I think you should, honestly. But get help from your brothers. Get some tough love, some shame. Shame is a powerful tool, actually. We don't want to think so, but it really is. Be there for each other. A true masculine biblical brotherhood is really lost these days, and I really want to create like some kind of group, some kind of online group where people with similar mindsets to me and us can kind of meet and be in the same place and feel at home and feel a part of something that truly fulfills them. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be at this really high level, because it's really hard to achieve that, but you can actually be kind of through here, just improving your mental health, improving your spiritual health, your physical health, your relationship with God, your finances, just trying to improve. But you're not at the results you want, but you can still be here, join this group, and feel a part of something while you're on this journey, and you don't feel alone. I think it'd be a beautiful thing, and we need more of that in today's society. So I'm 2 years porn free. I don't know the exact date. I haven't kept track, and I don't really care to keep track. It's been around 2 years. And then how do I feel? I feel amazing, man. I feel great. I feel like my relationship with God has gotten stronger. I feel like I'm more grateful. I feel like I think the biggest change I've noticed is I'm more present. I'm not like in another world all the time. And that comes with social media addiction too. I've overcome social media addiction. I'm on there for like 15 minutes a day. Or whenever I'm doing work, of course. The only thing I could tell you is just do it. Do it. Just give it a try. Really work hard at overcoming, at least for, just say you're going to overcome for a week. You're going to overcome for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, no porn. Promise that to yourself right now. 1 week, no porn. You can do it. Just say, okay, I can feel pleasure after. I can feel pleasure after, but right now, I'm staying disciplined for a week. I am staying true to this. And then once a week passes, a full week of doing the good habits and getting closer to God and praying every day and fearfully praying, because you don't want to go back to that sin, but you know in a week you will. Well, when that week is up, you won't get back to it. You won't feel the urge. In fact, you won't even feel the urge to commit sexual sin. You won't even feel the urge to relieve yourself or watch porn. You won't even feel the urge. In fact, you'll feel more of an urge to go read your Bible. You'll feel more of an urge to work, to do purposeful work. You'll feel more of an urge to go into the gym and get a good workout in. And that is really beautiful, because that's really all it is. You're just changing your mindset to where instead of enjoying and getting these urges and pleasure and taking part in these pleasures, you start replacing that with the better habits, with the spiritual and the mental and the physical habits that just improve your life. A year in, and you're superhuman, and you're not finding any urges. You might get tempting thoughts, but you're so disciplined, your willpower is so strong, and your mind is so strong at this point where you don't even entertain them. That is a life we all want to live subconsciously, but we're all being distracted by this pleasure, and we don't realize how much is actually destroying our dreams, our soul's dreams for our life, our soul's true desires. We are destroying them every time we take pleasure. And don't forget, it's hurting God's heart too, because God is the embodiment of good, and this is not good. This is corruption. Porn is corruption. Pleasure. God is not the author of pleasure, not short-term pleasure. Delayed gratification always over instant gratification. Are you eating that because it tastes good or because it actually helps you and improves your life and gives you energy? Have the fear of God to want to improve your life and have a relationship with him because he loves you and he desires for you. And he desires for you to overcome this, and it breaks his heart every time you succumb to it. You have to take action. You have to really be vigilant and realize, I want to overcome this. I want to go a whole week without doing this. I'm going to do a whole week of self-improvement. I'm meditating every single day. I'm reading prayer. I'm reading scripture every day. I'm going to work out every day. Really train my body. Really push its limits. Really feel what it means to grow and feel pain. And soon enough, your mind will be on a better trajectory. Porn is the biggest threat to society in today's day. If you ever need any further advice, any help, any support on this journey, then maybe I'll create that group. Maybe I'll create that tribe that we can all be a part of and that we can all grow in and share our troubles and share experiences and share stories and just have this campfire biblical brotherhood. I think it'd be very beautiful to have. So stay tuned for that. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.